Hey, welcome to the Good Call YouTube channel. I'll be your host. Today we're going to get started on our Nonsuri build. We'll be using my Cressida this year. So we got some spare fenders and a hood from the junkyard, courtesy of Moonlight Runners. They are a little bit ravaged and kind of covered in Bondo, so we're going to try to smooth some dents out. And because they came from a wagon, there's trim holes drilled in there, so we got to weld those shut, planish those out, and get those as smooth as possible. So this will probably be a couple of parts to make this video. And then we'll have the IRS swap on the channel as well that I shot like 2 years ago, but I've been lazy, kinda, but that'll be on here. So stick around and let's get to work. So this fender's not that bad. I've already started repairing some of the wrinkles and bends in there. I started filling some of the holes. This one I'm working on getting it kind of nice and smooth. The fender was dented here as well, so I had to hammer that kind of out. This one is pretty wrinkly as well, and I have to fill that hole. And yeah, I don't know, camera doesn't really capture it that well, but you can see it's a little bit lumpy in there. So yeah, we've got our body working tools and our welder. It is, you know, Harbor Freight, but gets the job done. So we're gonna weld this hole shut, and I think there's a few more up here that I have to grind clean and start welding. But yeah, we'll start right here. I know I'm gonna get 1,000 weld porn guys that are gonna be like, oh my god, dude, like that was so ugly, that was the worst weld ever. But ultimately, I mean, it does what it needs to do. This isn't like a structural part. It's just, it's gonna get some paint, some Bondo. That's kind of all there is to it. So it can be ugly, doesn't matter. Go out, go weld something, go blow some holes and stuff. And yeah, now we're gonna grind this down and try to iron out all these kinks here. All right, so we've got our weld ground down. Luckily, not a whole lot of warpage going on from the welding, but the fender was dinged and dented, so we do have to fix all of that. We've got our body working tools here, a hammer, dolly. You can get these at Harbor Freight, it's like 40 bucks. Saves you a whole lot of heartache and a whole lot of Bondo. Now we're gonna get to hammering this back into somewhat presentable shape. As a result of hammering on the surface, it does get a little bit shiny, which is kind of cool to see. And it's getting there. There are still a few spots that are kind of rough right here. For some reason, the metal just doesn't want to move. I'm gonna keep, you know, chipping away at it, but this part is nice and smooth now. Before this had a nice lump in it. Let's keep working on this thing. Alright, so that's a lot better now. Oh, hey, come on, focus now. Yeah, you can see it's round instead of splotchy. So just a few more of these holes to weld shut, and then we can start working on this big single vent fella here. And well, I'll have to move on to the other fender, but we'll wait for that because you'll see just how bad that fender is. All right, so we've moved outside to grind the paint off the fender. Just sucks to clean up all the Bondo and paint off of the shelves and bikes that are in the shop, so this is much easier. I can just come by with a broom after and sweep it all up. So the trim holes for this Fender, there's one like here, and there's another one further forward up here. I'm not too worried about filling this one or this one, because the long nose for the car will be going on this section here. So filling it doesn't really matter because it's gonna be covered. I will have to make a plate for the turn signal fella here, since we won't be using it. You can see here's the backside of the turn signal guy. Right up there, there's one of the trim holes that's been Bondoed shut. And then there's another one right there. It's the one we're gonna be grinding down and filling. So we've got our orbital sander. Let's get to sanding. All right, so I kind of speed ran that, but you get the idea. It's weld, grind, hammer, repeat. And yeah, no, I'm not looking for perfect here. They do have some slight, gouges in the metal, scuffs, stuff like that. It is still gonna get a light coat of body filler. It just won't be nearly as much as it had before. So now that I have those rear holes welded and ground down, we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna move into cutting out the fender vent section. All right, so there you have it. The fender's cut. Now, if I were a professional, I probably would have bought the metal to do the top and bottom triangles of the vent, but I didn't. So I guess you'll have to join me at the metal shop so that I can get that and weld the rest of that together. So I guess I'll end it here. If you liked the video and want more content, like, comment, subscribe, whatever it is YouTube people say. I'm new here, I don't know. But I guess do that, do the thing. Mosquitoes. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you for part 2. Well, this thing's